Do you boil or buy your drinking water? If you said yes to one or both of these questions, then this episode is just for you. Now available for the first time in Kenya, the Everwaters Stella Water Filter that will help you save up on water bills and keep you and your family safe. Let's live out loud with the founders of the Everwaters Stella Water Filter, Adrian Lievano and Matt Lisle, next. Hello and welcome to Sheila Lives Out Loud. My name is Sheila Mwanyega. Thank you for finding this channel. As always, click subscribe and hit notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. And today, it's all about Boresha Maisha. We're joined by the founders of Everwaters Stella Water Filter. Get to know these two amazing young men and a filter that will change your life. I'd like to give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves.
Absolutely. Well, first, I want to say thank you for having us on your show. It's really exciting to be here. My name's Adrian, as you mentioned. I'm from the United States, and I'm originally from Miami, Florida.
I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Adrian and I met during college. When we graduated, we started Everwaters, and the rest is history.
Interesting story to tell. Where did that begin?
There's a lot that, 3 sentences, boom, filter, right? I wish it worked that way.
Yeah, so we're going back to
I want to write
zero.
the next 3 sentences, right?
All right.
Sold filter, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
We actually started working on a number of different things, projects. We actually built a robotic arm before working on a water filter. Mm-hmm. But we got to know each other working on different projects, and then we said, hey, why not tackle a problem like clean water?
When we were rising seniors in college at the University of Pennsylvania, it was actually when the president of the university emailed out to everyone that she was going to provide a prize for awarded to a senior or a group of seniors to tackle a big world problem. And so we wanted to kind of definitely try to bite off more than we thought we could chew. And water was one of those issues that is just so universal. And then right when we started working on Everwaters, the Flint water crisis happened. And so that was kind of when we realized that this is really truly a global issue and going to become even more that way as time goes on.
Yeah, and I think to add to that too, you may have in the United States developed a system where people get piped water every day, but you never know what could be in that water. And just like in any other country, if there's a leak in a pipe, a crack in the distribution system, something enters, you never know what you could be drinking out of the tap, right? So there's always that risk. So the nice thing about having this sort of point-of-use water filter is that you kind of eliminate that risk. And that's kind of why when we interviewed people in the States, we learned that it's still a major concern for a lot of families, even though they might have more reliable access to water. Yeah. But it's still something always in the back of your mind because you might wake up one day and drink water that's not safe. Mm-hmm. And if you make that mistake, it could cost you a lot more than just the filter.
So here you are in development stage and thinking about water and knowing that it is of concern across the globe, whether you're in America, Europe, or Africa. The next step for most people would be you create the filter and you distribute it across America. But your story is different. That's why we're living out loud together in sunny Nairobi. What brought Everwaters to Kenya? Because there must be a story behind that too.
I think it was a little bit of luck, a little bit of coincidence that after we graduated, like as Matt was saying, we booked tickets to come out here. Well, we had the idea initially to build a filter for a community because we wanted to sort of try some new technology. But when we were out here, we spent 2.5 months. Yeah, 2.5 months in Loitoktok, so south near the Tanzanian border.
Yeah.
And when we were there, we realized that a lot of people, they had access to some form of water. They were either boiling it, they were collecting it, walking a couple miles to pick it up. But we realized that not many people had a way to clean it. So when we were here, and kind of stroke of luck when we landed here, and then we got to learn more from the people, it kind of inspired us to come back and say, hey, we have an idea, we have a solution, and Kenya is the perfect place. We felt welcomed right at home at the beginning.
Kenyans are very welcoming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's certainly true.
Yeah.
And I'd like to talk about the challenges in setting up, because it hasn't been easy. I mean, if I sit here with you and you tell me it's just been roses and rainbows and, you know, background music.
I wish, yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy. So
Yeah.
some of the problems that you faced in setting up.
Well, you know, I think for starters, you know, right off the bat, 2 recent graduates just book a flight to Kenya, landing here and saying, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of challenges. I think initially it was just getting to know people, getting acquainted with the environment, which you find to be really friendly, as I said before, and that kind of sped up that process.
Yeah.
But I'd say that it's really, the network was really the hardest thing to build from the beginning. But once you start to cultivate that, you start to work with the community, start to talk to local business owners, you know, families here in Kenya, you realize that a lot of people want these companies or these ideas to enter the market because it's going to improve their lives. Yeah. So because of that welcoming reception that we had, our challenges were easily overcome.
Yeah, and I'd say kind of the hardest thing when I think about it is that we had an idea of what we thought would be a perfect solution, and we knew coming in that of course that would have to be changed, and that process is, I think, one of the more challenging, one of the more interesting parts, because you start out with this kind of initial conception, and then through kind of getting to know other people, getting to know what are the needs and wants of everyone around you, then you kind of take this concept that's hanging somewhere up in the air and you bring it down into something real and concrete. And so I think that was probably kind of getting to what you see here. This does not look at all like what we initially started with.
Like where you first began.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When I think about the water situation in Kenya, just recently there was a cholera outbreak, and we're constantly being given, you know, notices to be vigilant, to be careful, and to watch out, because water is a big deal. But in looking at your water purifier, and like a few others that are in the market, you also incorporate natural plants. Tell us a little bit about the use of natural resources in coming up with a solution for a natural resource as well.
The cartridge in our water filter is made up of basically 2 things. You have the outer shell, which is made of ceramic, which is a natural material that keeps out the microbes, like bacteria or protozoa. These are the things that cause diseases like cholera and typhoid, as you mentioned. And then on the inside, you have something called coconut shell carbon. Now, you take the shell of a coconut and you steam it at very high temperatures, and all you're left with is this really nice porous material that chemicals can attach to, right? So they attach to the carbon instead of making it into your water, like lead, arsenic, so you don't even have to worry about those in your water. We created this water filter where the cartridge is actually manufactured by a company that's been doing this type of technology for 185 years. So we know that we can trust the cartridge because we took that and we tested it to NSF International Standards, which is kind of the benchmark for water filters around the world. And so, you know, we use this here. That's why we feel comfortable encouraging our friends and everyone to use it, because we know that it takes care of diseases like cholera and typhoid.
Right. Disease is a big deal. Boiling water is a big deal.
You just do the math real quick, how much you spend. I mean, how much, you know, you could spend buying bottled water. You know, it adds up. So it's kind of, there's no easier way to save money, I guess, if you're buying bottled water versus switching to a filter. Plus, you know, a lot of the plastic wastes that you generate from hoarding, you know, hundreds of water bottles just to sort of give you and your family clean water. You know, if it doesn't get processed correctly, it is harmful to the environment. So not only is it saving money, but it's a nice eco-friendly product.
I'd like us to talk about the all-important price.
What we've actually found is that the difficulty is really in making the upfront cost as affordable as we can and as attractive as we can to consumers. Because actually, if you look at it, you take the cost of, say, the filter cartridge, and you do it over its 1,500 liter lifespan. If you compare it to the cost to even boil your water, you'll save, it'll be almost just over half as much as the fuel cost that it would take to boil the water.
So the cost right now of the filter is $39.90. But the savings that it gives you over the course of a year, not only do you not have to worry about your water, the hassle of boiling water, the time it takes.
And then the taste of boiled water. It's very especially on a hot day and all you want is a glass of cold water. You don't want it to taste like the kettle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think for us, I mean, that's why we use it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's something that we prefer, and we wouldn't be trying to distribute something if we didn't use it ourselves or if we didn't like it.
True.
Because we love it so much, because I personally love it so much, I get the water, then I boil it.
Yeah.
I want to make tea.
Yeah.
I want to make, you know, my protein shakes, whatever it is.
It's ideal.
Yeah.
It's convenient and it's fast as well. Talking about the filter, because with any purifying system, you've always got to replace the filter after a given period of time. So what's the time limit for the Everwaters filter?
So the filter cartridge lasts, based on liters, about 1,500.
Yeah.
And that will last a typical family about a year. And so there's some breathing room in there, but we tell people about a year to get it replaced.
So guys, what we're going to do now is get an understanding on the filter, because you've got to put it together and you can break it down to us to see how it works.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's all about understanding how to put together your Everwaters Stella Water Purifiers.
So the first part he's grabbing
Right.
is the spigot. Essentially, this is what dispenses the purified water after it's been filtered.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to assemble. All you got to do is you get one of the washers
Yeah.
that comes with it. It's a little plastic. And you just kind of turn it until it's tight. And once you tighten it, kabisa, tighten it, kabisa.
Titan Kabusa, well done.
I'm learning, I'm practicing.
Maybe this interview should have been done in Swahili.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'll see your mat.
You only hear like 3 words from me though.
If you say jumbo mat, it's the end.
I know.
Don't say jump.
No, do not say jumbo.
So right now he's just finished tightening the spigot
Okay.
In the lower reservoir. So this is where the filtered water is going to sit in. So the next step, after you finish tightening your spigot to the lower reservoir, is you want to grab the filter cartridge.
Okay.
This is the bread and butter of your filter. You
Right.
don't want to break this. You don't want to drop this. It's the most sensitive part. This is what's really doing all of the filtration.
And I studied, you don't want to wash it with soap.
You don't. Do not.
Yeah. See,
Just a clean scrubbing pad.
Which we provide.
Yes.
Right. So when you buy the filter, it comes in with all these parts, including the washer, what
Yes.
you need to wash the filter.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay.
So what Matt's going to do now is, so you see he's got the washer in the bottom part of the filter.
Yeah.
He's going to attach it to the upper reservoir of the
Okay.
filter. So this is the second major step when you're assembling your filter.
Right.
You just slide it through that hole.
Okay.
You get the wing nut, which comes with the filter as well, and all you do is twist and turn. Just the same process you did before.
With the spigot.
Doesn't require any tools. You just use your hands.
Okay.
So now you want to tighten it. Make sure it's tight enough that water can't seep through, but also not too tight that you can't open it
You
when
can't
you need to
open
maintain it.
True.
So you want
Kabisa.
Kabisa, yeah, exactly. So now, step 3, believe it or not,
Yeah.
all Matt has to do is drop it in there. Boom.
That's it.
That's it. Now, step 4,
Yeah.
you get the top. Matt, will you do the honors?
And that's
And you
it.
close it, yeah. Well, you want to add water. You want to filter. You can't just, you can't filter
Then
air.
that's why we hop next to the, this is it. When it's all assembled, this is what it should look
Yeah.
like. You shouldn't have any bits and bobs
You
hanging
should not.
around the table
You should
after.
not. Nope.
And if you do not put the water in just
Yes.
yet.
And most important
Yeah.
is the fact that you saw the washer
Yeah.
on the cartridge, and that should be on this side.
Okay. I think we should just
Yeah.
show it this way. It should
Yeah.
be on what side?
It should be on the top side
Okay.
of the upper receptacle.
All right.
And so you should see on the bottom just the nut. And that's very important because the washer, when it's on the underside of where I'm holding it, it keeps any water from the tap from getting into here. But if you have it on this side, then
You'll be mixing your
It's
dirty water
possible
with
to
your
seep
filtered water.
through.
Yeah.
Right. So be careful how you attach it.
Yeah, and we have very detailed instructions too on the instruction manual in case you forget. And they have images there, so if you always need a reminder, it's there in the instruction manual. And you can always call us too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Once this assembly is done, we can just walk a little closer to what happens next after you've put it together.
Yeah.
And here's your water purifier.
So here we actually have a filter that's already been, it's already been in use for a while.
Yeah.
So the first time you're going to actually fill your filter, you want to dump out the first batch. The first batch, what it does is it just takes out all the dust that might have been in the filter after it's been traveling, after it's been assembled. So the first batch, filter it, then just toss it out. Second batch, that's when you're ready to drink clean water. So if you look at the water we put in here, this is Nairobi tap water.
Right.
And now it's going through the filter, just gravity-based. There's no power, no electricity. You're just waiting for it to pass through the filter, and then it fills up into the bottom container. But basically, when you're ready to fill your filter, you just get any pitcher, it could be any jug, anything that stores water, and then just pour it in. Now, we recommend that you fill it all the way to this fill line that we designed into the product for you.
Right.
That just kind of gives you an indicator of how much water you want to put. Just because the more you fill it, the faster the water will go through the filter, because there's more sort of pressure acting on the cartridge. So it's just for convenience. You don't have to do it, but just convenience. I like having a lot of water, so I always fill it up to the top.
You never know when guests are going to come calling.
Yeah, exactly.
How long should you keep the water in when you're cleaning it out? You know, when you just set it up and then you fill it up, because you said the first batch of water that you'll ever get, you have to pour that out. So how long do you let it sit before it goes all the way through and then you pour the water out?
You should leave it about overnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you put it in, go to bed, wake up, or an equivalent amount of time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then now starting the next day, the water is good to go. When you refill it again, that's the water.
Yeah, the only reason why you want to dump out the first batch is because the particles inside haven't sort of been moisturized by the water yet. So it's kind of the priming of the filter.
You're just breaking it in.
You're breaking
getting
it in.
ready
You're
for
breaking
service.
it in. Yeah.
But really, that's how easy it is to Boresha Maisha. Okay, so it's been a hot afternoon. Let's have a glass of water.
Yes.
So then we can sit down and, you know, wrap things up and let everybody know where they can pick up their purifier.
Definitely.
Cool. So guys, that was fairly easy. Where can we pick up the Everwaters water filter?
So there are a number of different places, but we always encourage that the easiest way to get it is to either go to our website, which is everwaters.io, or you could always just call us. I think that's the best way. If you want to learn more, you can call us. If you don't get enough information on a website, we're always there to pick up the phone. On top of that, we are opening up partnerships with some of the major shops here in Nairobi in the near future. So we're hoping that we can get it out there so that you can walk into any store. It doesn't matter where you go. It could be a little shop on the side on the way to ABC, wherever, and you'll find it.
Available.
So the easiest way, just call us, and then in the future we'll have it.
I know there are free deliveries within Nairobi. The city of Nairobi. That hasn't changed.
Yeah, and we actually have some select points across Kenya where we are including delivery. If you know any G4S outlet that's near you, we do include delivery for you to pick up there.
As we close, what's next? What would you like to see happen in the next 1 year for Everwaters?
Well, I think, if you look back to why we started this, it's kind of changed over time, right? Initially we said, hey, we want to bring clean water to families in Kenya and then around the world, right, in East Africa. But if you look deeper into why we're trying to bring clean water, it's all about trying to empower people to live a better life, right, Boresha Maisha, to live a better life, to drink cleaner water, so that they can seize opportunity, so that they can, go after and chase their dreams, whatever it may be. So for us, it's kind of the message deep down, I think in the DNA of the company is about empowering people. And so for us, in the next couple of years, we want to keep growing in Kenya, getting more people excited about our message and our product. And then in maybe 5 years, who knows, maybe we'll be all over East Africa. Maybe we'll jump to Latin America or in
the
India.
rest of Africa.
The rest of Africa. But it'll all be about where we started.
Yeah.
In Kenya, where a lot of the people first received us and encouraged us really to take this leap.
And go
Because it's not, you don't get recent college graduates to take a leap like this unless you have a supportive community. So
It is inspiring.
Yeah.
I know a lot of college grads who are still thinking, I want a job, please hire me today. And you're out here making the job, making the difference.
I can definitely sympathize with those college students that were saying, what am I going to do? Am I going to have a job in a year? Because we basically were coming up on the end of our senior year and said to each other, well, if this doesn't work, we have nothing else. we put all of our eggs in
this was plan A, B, C, and all the other plans.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that, if you really commit to something,
Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
Thank you so much for living out loud with us. Boresha Maisha with the Everwaters Stella Water Filter. It is available anywhere you are in Kenya. Get one for yourself, get one for your family, get one for your mama, get one for your man. Just get one or two. Christmas is coming, you know. As always, thank you so much for watching. Click subscribe, hit notifications, share this video because the challenge that is clean drinking water affects all of us. So spread the word. In all things that you do, remember to live out loud. Bye for now.